Hey everyone, Ross here. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a good day today. Now, guys, one of the most important things in Arena Breakout is your weapon choice. Obviously, you've got loads of other variables like gear and meds and stuff like that, but what it comes down to is what gun you choose and why you choose it, because killing other players or the AI in the game is one of the main things you're going to do. So guys, in this video I'm going to give you the top 3 guns to use as a beginner to the game. These are guns that are going to help you learn how to play the game better and in future use better, more advanced guns. These are like starter weapons to get you more tuned with the different sort of weapons in the game to set yourself better for future content. Anyway guys, without further ado, if you do us a massive favour, please hit that subscribe button down below and do like the video for the algorithm gods, and let's get into it. So then guys, what you're looking at right now is my warehouse or storage, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, I've got plenty of guns in here that I'll use for different scenarios, or pretty much what I've got left. Now what I'm going to do for you in this video, guys, I'm going to go straight to Gunsmith and I'm going to make 3 basic guns, 3 different ones, and tell you exactly why they're good for beginners and what a good decent startup will be. You should have at least some cone. If you're completely skint, then it's pointless even attempting this. You should probably just go naked run and kill a scav into their gun. But if you've got a little bit of money and you want a nice starter gun for each category, I'm going to go for that now. Now, first of all, guys, we're going to start off with assault rifles. Now, you'll see a lot of people using the AKM. That's because we're getting a lot of AKM bundles at the moment, and everyone seems to have a bundle gun of this gun. Not a particularly good starter weapon, I would say, but I would reckon most people go for the AK-74N. Now, if we go ahead and select this one, you can see it's quite like a basic sort of build. Now, what you want to do is, just to sort of help you out a little bit, is change this bit into one of the other ones. Now, you can see the one I've currently got on costs 226. You want to go for one of the ones that costs more like 4,000. So this one will do. And the reason for this is because you can put a grip on it. Once you get the grips, you want to go to one of these 3 that will increase your vertical. Not that one, sorry. One of these 2. Or that one if you're really feeling adventurous, or this one. Just one of these ones that increases your vertical recoil between 4 and 5. So I'm going to go for that one just because it's a bit easier to control. And then obviously you've got your base here. You want to put a little runner on. And personally, I would go for a 2x, but 2x's are quite expensive. So personally, I would go for maybe it's a cheap red dot, like say that one. I've already got one. Or feeling that, I do quite like the PK, the triangle, or the SRDS. These are all red dots, but just for cost, I'm going to say go for that one. And then we'll go ahead and complete that, buy and assemble. That's going to cost us 10k as a fresh sort of thing. I'm editing one of these in me. Maybe a bit more expensive than that. I think I've just edited one that was in my storage. Anyway, I've got a nice new AK-74 there. So then guys, here we are in the training range with this freshly made AK-74N. Now, a couple of things to know about this gun specifically. Now, I went for PP ammo. If you see here, I've got PP, and I'm not going to sit and undo that in here. But PP's sort of an all-around good, decent ammo, at least at low levels. Now, the hip fire on this gun is accurate enough when you're standing still, and still yet when you move around. Obviously, if you start jumping around like it's Call of Duty Mobile, it's not going to work well enough. But even with little attachments on, it's relatively easy to control the recoil on the gun, and you can just beam people down. This is why I would say it's a good starter weapon. There is, of course, weapons that are much better than this, that have a lot better control on them. But this one, as you can see, you can quite easily flick between heads with this one and miss like that one. But you can see what I mean. You can flick between targets relatively easily and take people out, especially even at long range. Still, if the aim assist would stop aiming at that one for some reason. It's still quite good to aim at decent range, but AK-74N is a good starter one. Then from this you can move on to guns like the MDR or the M4 or the EH4, more expensive ones, but for a cheap build this is one of the best ones. So then guys, the next weapon category on my list we're going for is SMG.
Now, a lot of people will tell you to use the UMP45 as it's really cheap and the ammo is cheap and it is quite accurate. However, the mag size maximum is 25. And as a starter gun, I don't particularly rate this one very high because it's actually quite difficult to kill people with one of these unless you know what you're doing. So I'm going to recommend, after all, you go for the MP5. Now, it's really easy to make the MP5 extremely good, even with hardly any kit on it. So if I go ahead and go to here, what you want to make sure you've got at least is, of course, like a red dot or something like that. It's not necessary. You can use the iron sight if you're quite accurate, but I would just go ahead and put on, say, a PK. They're quite decent enough for that. Now, very important with with SMGs is to put a suppressor on. Now, I would recommend the 9mm Conv. I can't say the rest of it, but this one anyway, because it's very compact. It's not very costly, and it's not going to like set you back loads. And that's it. That is the MP5 build. So we'll go ahead and follow that. It's going to cost us. This is a full build for 22.5 here, and that's pretty much nothing to most people. It's going to let us buy an assembly. So we'll go ahead, jump into the training into this one. I'll show you why I've chose this build.
Now guys, if you did see me at the start of the new version, the global version, you would have noticed that literally all I used for like level 3 to level 12 or 14 or something was the MP5. And I used PST ammo, which is readily available from the traders for very little. You can get like 300 for 5,000 coin or something like that. Now I've currently got AP 6.3 in, but that's just because that's what I had in my warehouse at the time. And I'm going to quickly show you why I use this. Now, this is a run and gun weapon. As you can see, you do run pretty fast with it. What you can also do is, you can be really accurate with hip fire and ADS speed while moving. It's got a very good ergonomic sort of ADS speed where you can just open it and quickly gun someone down really, really fast, especially with a PST in for the head, and you melt most people's armor. Now, obviously, if they're in tier 6, it's not going to work as much, but it still does work. It's very fast firing. Now, if you're feeling a bit more adventurous with your budget, you can go for the 50-round mags. However, the 30-round mags do work wonders all the same. You just have to make sure that you remember to sit and reload them when you get a spare second. Very important to keep them filled so that you're ready to go anytime. Now, let's move on to the next category. Next, guys, after SMGs and ERs, we have, of course, got sniper rifles. Now, there's a couple of options here. You can go for the Mosin. However, I wouldn't recommend this as a starter weapon as it's very specific and you have to be very accurate with it, as well as use quite decent ammo in it to actually get any kills. So what I'm going to suggest is you go to marksmanship rifles and pick either an SKS or, if you're feeling lucky, use an SVTU. Now, I wouldn't recommend this one. This is more shorter range, so I'm going to go ahead and say the SKS. Now, we'll go ahead and select this, and this is extremely easy to kit out. Put a quick base on it, and we should be able to, if I can find the right attachment, it might be over here. It's one of these ones, but you can put different ones on if you want. Yeah, so ignore that one. That wasn't supposed to be put on. This one here, you put the side rail on the SKS rail over here, go to scope, and you can put a 4x PSO on it, and that is literally it. You can also put a suppressor on it, quite recommended, but that is literally all you need to do. Follow that blueprint. It's going to cost you literally 9,000 to make this gun. Now, this gun is extremely efficient on Valley and Northridge as a sort of a sniping gun, a hit and run gun, as so to speak. Now, I've got some ammo for it there, so let's go ahead and put that in there. And we'll go into the training range and I'll show you why. So then, guys, like I say, when it comes to the SKS, very, very accurate at long range with a PSO on. So you'll see a lot of people will use this. They'll have a PSO on the SKS, and you can just literally, with very little recoil, you know, just bray into people. Now, most people would put LP ammo in. I would recommend you put at least PS ammo in just for the penetration, but it depends on your budget, of course. And just remember, when you're reloading the gun, if you've still got a bullet in the... So if I fire a bullet, and you can see, for instance, it's basically full. When you go to reload, because it's chambered like this, it will eject the currently chambered bullet, which will then drop to the floor. So if you're low on bullets, just remember that you're going to drop a bullet every time you reload, and make sure you do go ahead and pick that up. But a little good strategy to do would be aim for the legs, take out the legs, then go for their head when they're sort of hanging about, or if they're just looting, just go straight for a headshot. It's very, very easily with this gun to take down extremely kitted enemies compared to you with very minimal effort. So do keep that in mind. When you see someone with an SKS, don't think of them lightly. Or if you hear one shooting in the distance, unsuppressed, they can take you down really, really quickly. Right guys, and a bonus honourable mention at the very end, when you come to shotguns, if you do fancy doing a shotgun run, it's a very specific gameplay type, you have to be very close. Do try out the SBR 310. Now a lot of people will say the best shotguns, I say the S12K, the USAS, and they're full auto, you know, or semi-auto, and they are pretty decent. However, go for an SBR, you literally cannot change anything on it. You can take that off if you want, or it's kind of recommended you have that on, it will not work. But let's just follow this blueprint. The whole gun's going to cost you 2,900, and even with possibly, I would say, the worst shells in it, I'm going to go AP slugs, because that's usually what I go with. Oh, where's it gone? It's there. I'll go AP slugs. And this gun is extremely accurate at close range and actually wipes people out. I've done a full armory run solo with this gun. Now, just as a rule of thumb when it comes to shotguns, guys, if it's buckshot, aim for the legs. If it's a slug, aim for the chest or the head. Now, as you can see, it's very quick at firing and it's very accurate to where my pointer was. So if I just do that a bit slow, I'll aim for the red dot. Like that. You can see it's rather, well, extremely accurate. Now, let's go for more or less the middle of the screen. Still quite accurate on a hip fire. So as you can see, close range, guys, this is going to absolutely wipe people out. The only thing is the fact that it's got 2 shots. You have to be very accurate and very fast if you do use it. But anyway, guys, hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope it's going to help you out early game to really pick which guns you're going to be using and why, and not just run into a raid with any old gun that you've got hoping it's going to work. So like I say, if you've enjoyed this video, guys, please do leave a like down below and do subscribe to the channel. And hopefully, guys, look at the accuracy on that, I don't run into you in a raid with my SBR, because I'm going to 2-shot you. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.